reporting live from the legendary Shady Glen Dairy Store in Manchester that's been in business now for 70 years. In addition to taxes, tolls, and people leaving our state, one of the big issues in this campaign is the opioid crisis and how the next governor will deal with it. Channel 3's chief Capitol reporter Susan Raff is live now in Hartford with that part of our coverage tonight. Susan?
Dennis, the opioid crisis is definitely a concern not just in Connecticut but all over the country. And in fact, Democratic gubernatorial candidate Ned Lamont was in Hartford today at an addiction clinic. In fact, one of the largest or the largest addiction center in the state. And he was also joined by a former congressman who knows full well the struggle of drug addiction.
My friend Patrick has been a leader for a long time.
Two visitors caught the attention of patients at Intercommunity, a residential addiction clinic in Hartford. Democrat Ned Lamont, who is running for governor, and Patrick Kennedy, a former congressman and son of the late Senator Ted Kennedy.
If you look at where we can do the most to help our fellows in recovery, it's getting better government policies.
Kennedy is in recovery from drugs and alcohol. He went into rehab in 2006 after crashing his car on Capitol Hill. The addiction, he says, impacts all of us.
The taxpayers are already shouldering the burden of having the first responders not only go out once, not only go out twice, but can go out 3 or 4 times in a day to save the same person.
Beds at Intercommunity are at full capacity, yet the center is getting less money from the state because of budget cuts.
These are not the most popular people in our society, but these are people and human beings and lives that can be saved.
70,000 people die every year from opioid overdoses. Samantha Bombardier could have been one of them.
I'm just tired. It's no way to live. I was tired of disappointing people.
But it was worse than that. She went to prison for stealing to feed her addiction and overdosed within days of being released. After 4 years of drugs, she finally checked herself into rehab. She's been sober for nearly a month.
This was the best choice I made because I feel like I haven't smiled in forever, and I can finally do that. So the journey's worth it.
We reached out to the Republican candidate for governor, Bob Stefanowski, to ask him about the opioid crisis. He told us that it's absolutely critical that we fund these core services. Now, the federal government spends about $5 billion on the opioid crisis, and compare that to the HIV/AIDS crisis when the federal government spent $24 billion and there were far less people impacted. So, Dennis, I think a lot of people would like to see the federal government do more to help with this crisis. Back to you.
It's a very complicated issue. All right, Susan Raff tonight live for us in Hartford. Thank you very much. Now, tomorrow night, our dinner time debate will take us to West Hartford Center into Restaurant Brico. That's beginning at 5 o'clock, so come on down. You might find yourself on TV. But for now, we're live in Manchester. I want to thank all the great folks here at Shady Glen, from Jessica, Matthew, Aaron, Alexis, Mary Lou, Sabrina, and Alyssa. Thank you all very much. And thanks to all the customers. Thank you very much. You were great. Back to you, Denise.